Good morning, the Sultan of Silver here with you, and welcome to an early morning beach edition of Beards Without Borders. Rise and shine, mothers and brothers, and cheese wedges and handlebars all over the world. Rise and shine. Let it grow and let it flow. Have the two most important things in the world with me today. Coffee. I love my coffee. What's your favorite kind of coffee? Do you have a favorite kind of coffee? My favorite kind of coffee is hot. I like it hot. I put honey in mine, natural honey, and a little bit of cream, and that's good for me. In the summertime, I tend to have 1 cup of coffee. In the wintertime, I tend to have 2. In the summer, my body says, okay, 1 is enough. The other thing I had with me that I didn't have yesterday was this. Unscented Off Family Care Insect Repellent with aloe vera. So I'm not getting eaten up this morning, although I didn't feel the bugs out here this morning like I did yesterday. Last night before I went to bed, I was looking at on Instagram. Do you follow me on Instagram? If you don't, you should. It's a parallel supportive social media outlet to this here. You might like it if you don't already follow me there, at George A. Bruno. But one of my beardspirations, and I have several beardspirations, is Xanda. And I believe his last name is Opigrim. It's Xanda. Hi Xanda, if you're watching. Peace, man. And he talked about beard tying and beard rolling, and I thought, well, that's interesting. So I hashtagged it, checked it out, and then I went to YouTube and I watched a few beard tying, and it's pretty much an Indian thing from India, not as in Native American, but Indian as in East Indian. And I don't think you can do it unless your beard is long and natural. You have to have enough, but it's where you kind of bring it together and twist it, and then you kind of, and then you take that little braid that you got, and you roll it up, wrap it around the existing braid, and then you tuck it underneath. So it almost looks like you have a 1-month beard, which is kind of interesting. I was thinking this morning how when my beard was short and well-groomed, I'm like, well-groomed. Now I'm like, go natural or go home. It's funny. But you got to be happy wherever you're at in life. And I have to say, I've enjoyed every stage. Some people talk about the uncomfortable stages. I think if I focused on beard care as opposed to beard shape early on, then I wouldn't have had an uncomfortable, what I have been quoted as saying is an uncomfortable, or whatever you want to call it, period of time. I just think all beards are beautiful. I had a guy come in, I don't know, a couple months ago, who came in 4 months ago and said, do I have enough to trim? I said, come back in 2 months. And he came back in 2 months. Indian American dude. And he was going for the full, Indian, East Indian, Maharishi kind of guru look. And he had longish hair, so I trimmed up his hair and just took off the slightest bit off of his beard. Although I'm sending more guys away from the chill chair now than I ever have. And I'm saying come back in 2 months, and it's working. Focus on beard care as opposed to beard trimming and beard shaping. And he came back, and I did a little shaping of his hair and did some beard work on him, and it looked magnificent. And if I took a photograph of him, he's on my Instagram. If I took a photograph and removed the color from it, made it black and white, and put a vintage effect on it, he would look like it. And if he wore a white robe or something, he would look like an old yogi or something. It was just really cool looking. And what's interesting is that some guys, certain beards appeal to certain guys. I get guys that come in and they want to look like Crusaders or Vikings, or not everybody wants this look. And so I always ask people, first of all, what is your beard goal? What's your beard goal? What's your mustache goal? Of course, right now I'm like, go natural or go home. So, and in my narrow thinking, right now, at this stage of the game, it's everyone should have this kind of beard. Now, it's not true. I think we tend to guide people towards what our preferences are in everything in life. And I find that if I help people explore the options, I think, like when someone says, where do you want to go to eat? And I've gotten that so many times this week with my brothers in Florida. Where do you want to go to eat? My answer is, I don't know. What are my options? Tell me what the options are, and then I'll let you know what I want. I know what I'm in the mood for. Yesterday I was in the mood for Mediterranean. I wanted Moroccan food. Saeed, Moroccan food. I wanted Moroccan food so bad. I was so sick and tired of flavorless. I was just tired of flavorless, like what I call like buffet food. And I wanted the sun a little bit behind the clouds there. And thankfully no lightning. Man, we got hammered yesterday. I got out of here yesterday morning when you saw this broadcast yesterday. I got out of here just in time, and I kid you not, just in time. Drinking coffee through the stash today. I just rolled out of the sack literally 3 minutes ago. I knew what I wanted to talk about. And I didn't do anything to the beard. This is absolute bed beard, just kind of flowing long, whatever. Yesterday I had some serious, got to be spiking glue in it, man. I had some longhorn cattle mustache going on yesterday, and you could pick a lock with that thing, man. It was so hard, but it was a great look. Got my hair cut yesterday. Looks like crap now, but I love it. Got a razor faded side part with a hard part tapped into it. So I'll be rocking that look for a while. When I get back home, I'm going to be messing with some, probably some paste. Most likely American Crew has a gray colored paste that has, if you look at it, I don't know if it's got like ground up mica in it, but it's got like a little sparkly kind of thing, but it's a gray paste. I forget the name of it, but it's got like a mustard yellow colored label. And for my color hair, it works perfect. The consistency is great. And literally, see my finger, my pinky nail? I use 1/4 of my pinky nail. I scrape up a little bit, put it in between my fingers, put it in, and that's just enough. It still allows the hair to blow in the wind a little bit, but keeps a little bit of a style. Coffee. Man, I wanted to make a video. I met a gal yesterday on the beach here, a married lady, maybe a hair younger than me, who's a coffee expert and is going to be opening up a coffee bar here in Melbourne, Florida, and offering cold brew. And she goes to coffee trade shows. And how interesting would that have been to have someone sitting right here just talking about coffee? I want to interview experts about things. I think that I've always dreamed of interviewing people, and that's something I'm going to do. I want to, if I'm on the beach, I'll do it on the beach. If up home, I might call it like alley talks and record it in an alley. I just like the vibe of an alley. I don't know why. Or the other idea was I have 2 lawn chairs, like old school with the webbing, and just call it, 2 lawn chairs. That's it, 2 lawn chairs, and just me and another person. And I think it would be fun just to talk to them about their stuff. Interesting stuff. But not rush through it. Not have an agenda. Not have an agenda. I think that would be kind of fun. Ah, there it is. Look at that. I see a little yellow ball coming up through the clouds right about there. here's an interesting topic. Are you multi-emotional or one-dimensional? Are you a one-trick pony? Are you the kind of person that has one emotion? Has anyone ever said to you, you always seem pissed off? Or, I've known people who have anger just below the skin. It doesn't take much to access that at all. Can you cry? Can you laugh? Do you need alcohol to have fun? Do you need drugs to have fun? Are you only fun when you're awake? Or are you only fun when you're tired? Are you only fun when you get paid? Or are you multi-emotional? Do your emotions exist on a continuum? Or do you need external stimuli to kind of set up the scenario for your emotions? I met a woman once, I dated a woman years ago whose father died, a Greek woman, and her mom. Oh, before I forget, last 28 days, my largest subscriber and watcher, when I look at my YouTube analytics, has been Australia and England. Down under, baby. Thank you very much. I appreciate your subscribership. And I did review the product from the Groomed Man company, thegroomedmanco.com. Like the products, I do. I brought their oils with me on this trip. So, Aussies, you know, in America, we think all you drink is Foster's beer because of the commercials. What do you drink? You got to drink more than Foster's. And that's probably no more true than you thinking that we just drink Budweiser all the time. Here's the deal. When it comes to emotions, do you have multiple emotions? You know, like for those who everyone went through a period, and maybe some are in that period, and that's okay, and my heart's with you on this, where you had ramen noodles and Kraft macaroni and cheese and hot dogs. Everyone talks about a period of their life where the ramen noodle period of their life, where you could buy, 10 packs for $1, that kind of thing. You opened up the cupboard and there was just ramen noodles. And if you mixed it with Kraft macaroni and cheese and cut up hot dogs, you can have, like a little feast. Now that you're older and more mature, which maybe, I shouldn't say mature. Maturity doesn't come with age, it comes with choice. I've always been kind of like an old soul, so I acted like how I'm acting now. I acted like this when I was 20, when everyone else was like, woo, party on. I was like the designated driver my entire life for everybody. When everyone else is slamming 10, 12, 13, 15 beers at parties, I'm drinking soda because I wanted to be the level-headed one. I've had moments, as many people have, but I enjoy level-headed thinking and I enjoy sobriety, and I don't, as I get older, it's almost like when you're moving or doing physical labor, you're really sore the next day when you get, like, for instance, if I had like a day of just like hardcore yard work, wheelbarrow work and shoveling and like pickaxe kind of stuff and, running a rototiller, I think the next day I would be like, holy crap, because I'm using muscles that I don't normally use. Now, many of you are in labor kinds of fields, and you're used to that. I'm not used to that. So, but when it comes to like partying, there's people who can party like crazy, get 2 hours of sleep, get up, and have a productive day. I'm dead serious, man. I am 2-beer George. 2 beers, and I'm done. Now I'm at the point where I would like a beer and a shot, and I never slam anything. I'll sip it because I like the flavors of things. I want something top shelf. I don't want garbage. I want something that tastes great, something where I can savor the flavor. And I don't want something, especially if it's at night, where I'm just peeing all night. Those days are over with, man. So that's why I like cigars and pipes and sipping, because I get to enjoy them, and I get to enjoy the experience and the people. And when I go to listen to music, I'm there for the music. I'm not there, most places, most music venues are also venues that serve alcohol. And there's been times where I go out with people, everyone gets around, and when they get to me, I'll say, I'll have an iced tea. because I like being level-headed. I don't like I don't like being under the influence of anything and being out of control. And I think that makes sense. So if you're not like that, I would ask you to consider making that move or becoming more like that in your life. Excuse me here, as I put some poison on my skin, but cover my coffee up there. Man, now they're coming out. They smell meat. Are you multi-emotional? So here we go. When I was right out of college, open up the cupboard, and there was just, I would buy like think about this, $5 worth of ramen noodles, and they were 10 for $1. Holy cow, 50 packs of ramen noodles, Kraft macaroni and cheese, in the refrigerator, hot dogs. And if you want to get fancy, you cut the hot dogs diagonally. Now I open up the cupboard, and I think, what do you want to eat? And I answer my own question, well, what are my options? And I like food from around the world. I could sit on a jungle or desert floor and eat whatever anyone makes. I can eat Moroccan food, I can eat desert food, jungle food, I can eat live things that were killed and you eat them 5 minutes later. A multi-purpose cupboard. And with emotions, some people are just ramen noodle emotions. That's it. That's the only thing that they have to grasp. Wow, that sun is popping right now, and it looks like I'm getting very dark, right? Let me just move this up a little bit. There we go. Do you have ramen noodle emotions? Is that the only thing you can access? Or do you have multiple things? In other words, somebody cuts you off while you're driving. You open up your cupboard of emotions. What is there for you to access? Is it just ramen noodles? Which for most people would be the equivalent of anger. Because it's the easiest accessed emotion. Think about this. Anger is the easiest accessed emotion, and it's the most base thing. And it's 100% variable. It's emotional, it's wishy-washy, it's like that water behind me. It's cheap, it's plentiful, and my God, it's great because you can control people with it. Well, guess what? Are you the kind of person that controls people with your temper or your anger? Do you get people to do things do you get people to quiet down because you get angry? Do people walk around in eggshells because you're angry? I'm not speaking to those people, and I'm not talking about, well, I got this friend who, I'm talking to you. Hey, you talking to me? I'm talking to you. Because we have a relationship, and you've been listening to me for months now. Months. What is your most easily accessed emotion? If it's anger, I'm sure people have told you that before. I think it's time for me to change this. Here we go. Let's see. There we go. Like this. There we go. So we saw the sunrise. Nice. What is your most easily accessed emotion? If it's anger, I would challenge you to reach beyond. Just press pause for a second. Take a deep breath, look around, and not pull out the ramen noodle of emotions. Look for something else. Or don't do anything at all. Practice doing nothing. And you know what? Practice makes perfect. Did you know every time you do something new, a new neural pathway is made? And I love that about our brains. Neural pathways are just basically shortcuts. When you're walking somewhere and you want to take a shortcut, okay, if you keep walking that same shortcut every day, guess what? It becomes a path, and it becomes easily traveled. And whatever you practice the most is what you become good at. So if you practice anger, intentionally or not, that's what you become great at. I challenge you today on Beards Without Borders, no matter where you are in the world, to think about that. Think about anger and how it rules your life. how it rules your relationships, how it rules how you view elections and voting, how it makes you view jobs and people and driving and traffic. And give it a rest. Try something different today. Do it for me, do it for your family. If you don't have a family, if you're kind of a loner and you're into solitude like I am, what I would ask you to do is practice it on your own. Now, I'm with my family today, but I'm normally alone. I love solitude, I'm an introvert, and so I'm not really always aware of what my emotions are because I'm always alone all the time. I cut hair and then I just go back home where I'm alone. And I like my animals, and animals don't give you a hard time, right? Think about that today. We'll develop it in the future, the whole neural pathways, the whole ramen noodle of emotions. I challenge you, pick a different emotion or hit pause. All right, I bid you peace, my friends. My brothers and sisters, and I know there's sisters watching this as well. There's wives and daughters and a lot of ladies watching this. I wish you the best for today. Non-anger and choosing other things is the way of peace, and I would challenge you to do that. Have fun today. You know, Jim Henson always said that, have fun. I love that, have fun. Jim, see you tomorrow. He'd be like, okay, have fun. I like that, have fun. And I want to start doing some interviews with people, interesting people. Not just people, interesting people. Not everybody's interesting. Because you have to be a skilled interviewer to make boring people interesting, I think. Anyways, I bid you peace. And the proper answer from you is always, and also with you. And that spans, it crosses countries, borders, religions, philosophies, worldviews. I bid you peace. Peace be with you. And the reply is, and also with you. Thanks for watching. Have a phenomenal day. You can do it. I know you can because I believe in you. Now go out and do it. Bye.